Well, it's important for farmers to work on Indigenous issues. For one, they're all farming on land that was either unceded or given up in a treaty context that may have been quite unfair. We have a 100-acre farm in West Grey County in Ontario. Why is our local interested in working with Indigenous people? I guess I was the catalyst for that, and part of the reason for that is I worked with the United Church for many years, and the United Church was one of the administrators of the residential school system. It sensitized me generally to the issues that Indigenous people are facing today, especially intergenerational trauma. So when we bought the farm, we started to think, my wife and I, about what could we do with this farm that would in some way acknowledge the way that Indigenous people were treated by settler colonialists in the past, and could we somehow work with them to remediate that in some meaningful way. So we started working to make contact with local Indigenous people in the area, and we started to use our farm as a venue for workshops led by them, educational workshops led by them, to which non-Indigenous people were invited. Then I took a course at the Muwikwadong Native Cultural Resource Center in Owen Sound, and that course really changed my life. It was led by a local Ojibwe medicine man, historian, and it was just incredible. I noticed the center did not have a lot of capacity to mount these courses, so I thought to myself, well, maybe we as NFU, our local, could help out in some way. So we offered to organize the courses for them. They would still teach them, but we would organize them. I was hooked into a lot of networks, including church networks in the region, and I felt that it would be probably pretty easy to get people out to these. And also we were able to take advantage of church buildings as free venues for the courses. So the course is a 6-hour course. It's divided into 3 sessions. It takes place over 3 consecutive weeks in the evenings. Most of it takes place in circle, traditional Indigenous circle. Sometimes we break out and the teacher does some work with flip charts, whiteboards, and so on. The first session focuses on rituals, sacred ceremonies, and so on, to try, I think, and engender in the largely non-Indigenous audience the integrity of Indigenous people historically, how they lived, their traditional ways, their values, and so on. And it serves to build an understanding and a basic integrity and respect for them. Session 2 focuses on, by and large, how Turtle Island, North America, was settled by Indigenous people pre, during, and post-Ice Age. And then at the end of the session, moves a little bit into the treaty system. And then session 3 goes further into depth into the treaty system, and then also focuses on the residential schools, and goes to great length into the whole issue of what the teacher calls intergenerational trauma, and how the traumas of the past, going back, many, many, many generations, continue to be passed along from one generation to another. To have that understanding is really important for non-Indigenous people, because it then helps to break down stereotypes, these notions that why can't they just get their act together and pull themselves up by their bootstraps? The past is the past. It's not that easy. And once you have this course under your belt, I think you really understand why it's a struggle, and why Indigenous people need our support, the right kind of support, to help them achieve their aspirations. The teacher's name is Glenn Trivet. He's an Ojibwa, historian, teacher, medicine man, and Midowewin pipe carrier. He is a very charismatic individual. He combines humor and humility and a lot of other wonderful attributes to really lift the course off the page. And people walk away from this course, and I'm not exaggerating, just blown away by the experience they've had. He has an ability to tell the truth, which is harsh, but in a way that does not guilt. It does not make people feel shamed. It makes them feel motivated to want to help in a meaningful way. And I think that's an extraordinary gift on his part. And that's the kind of course I think you want to support. I think it's going to serve as a platform for other kinds of collaborative work, which I'm really excited about, and which we as a local now are starting to explore. Typically, we register 25 people to keep the circle manageable. The last course got out of hand. People started showing up with their children, and it became a bit of and it was just too big a circle, you know. We managed, but we'll have to control that a little better. But it's a good thing because it indicates people want this information, and they want to be in solidarity with Indigenous people in a meaningful way. And here's an opportunity to, a door to walk through maybe that would lead in that direction.